Hey again. I know I have these days where I just like come and pump it all out, and then I'm just like, I can't go anymore. And I think we all have those days. And today has been like one of those days of like trying to get back in that good energy, the like determination, right? And then all these things that can keep going wrong or happening, and I'm like, man, this happens often. But then the way I had to point it out to another person was, it's almost like, you've been in that toxic energy, and then you change your mind of today is the day, right? I'm turning it around. I'm not doing that no more. It's wasting my time. I don't care. I'm better than this, right? And that's where the devil's like, but wait, no, hold on. You want to explode. Look, this isn't working out. That's not working out. And I've keep going through. I've had to deal with multiple things today. And even while I was waiting on hold, patiently, got hung up on, had to call back. Just different things, right? So it was like, oh my God, I'm going to lose it. And then I had to go, no, it's fine. It's going to work out. So this is a reminder to practice that patience, keep that faith. Know that it's going to work out. If it is meant for you, it will work out. Promise. There is nothing in your life that is going to pass you by that was supposed to be for you. It doesn't work that way. When you get into a mindset of today is the day and you have to stick with it. This has been in my head for a week now. It's that stick-to-itiveness that's like, okay, I've made a decision, now I'm going to go by it. When we get to that point in our lives, it's the dedication. It is the follow through that's going to make the big difference in the world. Because when you get to that point of saying, oh, I'm going to change this today, a lot of times we have a hard time to keep the follow through to watch it change. It's just like when you battle with any addiction, each day is a new day to say, I'm going to quit. But if you keep saying, I'm going to quit, and then go back to it, there's no dedication in that. There's no promise that you're giving yourself that I'm better than this. I'm going to fight through this because I deserve this. And I myself have had to go through this. Shoot, I still go through this. I still battle with certain things, like drinking. I think because it's so acceptable worldwide, and it doesn't matter if you come from a long line of alcoholics, that you're going to have to do the fight to get past it. And I think also when we grow up in a household where we see that, it makes it easier for our kids to go, I don't want to be that. And sometimes we are the lesson for other people to say, you know what, I want more in life than what I see in front of me. And it's hard, yes, but like I said, that dedication, that determination, that drive that is, I'm going to release myself from the bonds that are holding me back. That's when things start to become magical in life. So if you're at a point right now where you really feel like giving up, I just want to encourage you, please don't give up. Don't explode. Take a break. Shit, if you need to go on a binge and listen to loud music and drink and live it up, do what you got to do. It doesn't matter. No one's judging you. Nobody's here to judge you. They might give you their opinion of what they think about you, but honestly, they're talking about themselves, not you. So when it comes down to it, when you got to fight that fight, understand even soldiers pull back. Even soldiers have to take a break. Because if not, you get to a breaking point. And then when you get to that breaking point, that's where I've been. Laying down on the ground, basically just, I give up. I don't want to do this anymore. I had so many bad thoughts going on in my head. I had so many decisions I was thinking about making that were not for my highest good, but I had gotten to a point where I'm like, what does it matter? None of this fucking matters. And I was getting to the point I was so irritated. And like I said, I just wanted to give up. And I basically did take myself to that point of laying down and giving up. And that's what actually helped me to get up, which is the irony in the situation, that sometimes you got to get back to that lowest point to go, man, I've been here. I don't want to do this again. And then it's the fast track right back to where you were to go, okay, so you saw the choices that are available. Do you want to keep going back to nowhere and finding yourself struggling and fighting all through this life? Or do you want to keep going with what you've already learned? Utilize that. Move forward. Have faith. It's going to work out. Because if you choose not to have faith, then guess what? You're punishing yourself. You're punishing yourself to struggle and keep seeing everything not work out, because you are calling into existence what you believe is possible. And that's the hard part, when you have to take the responsibility that you are responsible for what's happening in your life. You know, I was talking to someone the other night and they said, but you have to look at it that you're like starting over and they're in the same boat. It's like we're 18 years old again, you know, problem is we have kids. So when you're at the point of starting over in a place that you never really grew from, but then you have children that are close to you in that age that you're now starting at, it makes it difficult. But when you can look at your kids and go, man, they're actually further than I was at that age, that in itself is confirmation that it's all worth it. That you can start where you're at any given age. And that the sooner you start, the sooner you're going to see progress. And the hard part is, do not give up. That is the hardest part in everything, to keep going, because you have kinetic and potential energy. So you can keep moving in a kinetic motion, just going. But then when you get to that stall, that block, that's when it becomes kinetic. Potential. And then when you get to that potential, you have to build it back up to be able to move it again. And that's where exhaustion occurs. But every time you get to a block, that's you blocking yourself by going, how? I don't know. I can't. What's the point? When all these questions start popping up in your head and you give into them, when you feed more into the negative than you do the positive, that's where you start stalling yourself. When you start needing to know, what's the outcome? Why should I do this? What's the reward? When you get to that mindset, that's where you have a block, and you are stalling yourself from being able to keep moving forward into that abundant life that you want. Because we all want to be abundant. And abundance is not just about wealth. It's about being intelligent. It's about being healthy. It's about being open to others around you in a loving manner. It's about seeing things flow into your life as you need them, basically seeing the miracles and the blessings as they're coming up in your life. But you have to allow yourself to be open to that abundance and believe that you deserve to receive it. Because for the longest time, the past that I have endured, the things that I allowed to happen to me, it started taking away from my mindset of I was abundant. It started making me feel honestly more like a victim. And when you get back in that victim mentality is where you cut yourself short, because now everything's happening to you, nothing's happening for you. And then when you get in that mindset, that's where you feel like God is attacking you and the devil is winning, if you believe in it that way. If you see it a different way, as in an energetic pull, you've stepped more into a toxic nature of energy, and you have stepped out of the flow of life, the positive. So when you get to where you feel blocked, I encourage you to open up and pray about it. And like I've said several times, you're not asking a genie to grant you wishes. Prayers are not instantaneous. Sometimes you sit back, you have no clue where the answer is going to come from, and then you get surprised with the outcome. Just like I was about to be evicted from this house, and my sister was moving out and decided she's not paying me anything for the time that she stayed, and screw the bills and everything else, and it was just like, oh my God, I don't know what is going on or how this is supposed to work, and looking for a job and trying to get more to be able to handle it financially. And it got to a point where I quit. I don't even know, and honestly, I just sat outside, and like I said, I had given up. I had prayed one more time and said, I don't care. I don't care what bridge I live under. I don't care how big my box is. I gave in to that neggy Nelly voice in my head. And I told myself, it's going to be whatever it's going to be. I don't really give a shit. And then my phone rang. I had it on silent. Didn't notice it. Looked down. Right as I looked down, a message came through. And it was my dad. Your sister called your mom and said blah, blah, blah. And once again, a miracle, a blessing showed up through my family. My family that I felt had turned their back on me for so many years. And I'll tell you, it's not even the fact that they're helping me financially when I need it. They're there for me in the support that I thought I never had through all the years that they tried to give it to me. And I just couldn't see it. But it was the mindset that I was in. It was in the relationship I was in. It was in the toxic energy that I was allowing in my life. It was the struggle of life. It was believing I was not worthy of love. And now more and more and more, I have to keep reminding myself, you are worthy of love. You are a good person. You are loving. You are a compassionate individual. You have empathy. Don't let that cheer leave who you are. Stay optimistic. Stay in that childlike, happy nature. Because I've noticed whenever I'm not the one going, hey, how y'all doing? Everyone in my house is just very somber and depressed. But whenever I bring the energy forth, I see it spread around the house. And I see everybody's more optimistic, and then they're more willing to enjoy life rather than feeling like they're sitting and rotting and waiting for something. So understand also that you yourself inspire people to be certain ways. If you're down, out, negative, guess what? That's what everyone around you is going to be like, because they are a reflection of the energy you are putting out. If you are encouraging and optimistic and easy-go-lucky and you just believe in the goodness of things, you're going to start seeing that around you. Because like I said, once again, everything around you is a reflection of what you are. So when you can understand that what you're putting out is what you're receiving, you can begin to understand how you can change your reality, how you see life, how you endure life, how you feel it, how you notice who people are. Because I also notice, as I've been in this like humbuggish spirit, when I go out in public, I don't see it the same anymore. It's not like, oh, hey, how you doing? It's not this happy flow and conversation with strangers. It's more so like, the line is long, the wait is forever, and just feeling like there's a constant stall. The lights turn red right as you pull up. The line at the stop sign is never ending. The music is not on the radio. It's all talk. It just gets to a point where there's so many blockages. So I encourage you, stop being the blockage in your own life. And I know it's hard, because that means taking accountability for what we're accepting and what we're putting out in the world. But we are responsible for what happens in our lives. And a lot of what we're going through is what we have accepted. So we have to change our mindset of what we're okay and what we're allowing into our lives. Because you can very easily let people begin to walk all over you again. And when you let people walk all over you again, guess what? You're back down where you started. Meaning now you have to find your self-worth again. Now you have to fight those lower level demons all over again. And you're better than that. I promise you, you are better than you give yourself credit for. You deserve more than what you believe you deserve. And I want everybody to start understanding that when you're open, when your heart is open, when you do give praise, not just for that time of need, but when you remember to give praise for the family that you have, for the food that you get to eat, for the roof over your head, for the clothes you get to wear, for the comfort that you get to feel. When you're grateful for those things, other things will flow into your life. Because even when I was in a situation that was so uncomfortable, living in a tent for months on end, traveling around nonstop, dealing with someone abusive mentally, emotionally, and sometimes physically, when it got to being able to still be grateful for the food that I was given and the clothing that I was allowed and the shelter, regardless if it was a tent or not. And then to look at the travel as a journey, an adventure, a vacation, rather than not having anything. When I could see it like that, that's when doors opened up that basically allowed me my freedom to be able to get out of that situation and save my kids from it, to allow them to be able to dream and want to be more than what they came from. So, like I said, This is me just trying to encourage you. Please don't give up, and to remember to always be grateful. Even if all you have is a penny in your pocket, be grateful that you have that penny. Because honestly, you could have nothing and be in very big need. There's a lot of people in this world that are in need and overlooked. And you have more than what you think you have. So, peace out. Smooches. Bye-bye.